Welcome to my side of the closet. I'm your girl, Just B.
And I'm Blonde Mafia.
So, usually we record at night, but it's daytime. I got the day off. So now, before we start, what are y'all sipping on? I know I have some alkaline water, the pH 9.5. That's because it's in the daytime, okay? What you got going on, Blonde Mafia?
I'm finishing my second cup of coffee, which is horrible because I haven't even gone to the gym yet, which means then I'm going to add a little pre-workout. I'll be buzzing.
I worked out my arm today. I lifted the remote, stretched, and turned the channel. And guess what I was watching, y'all? Will and Grace.
Hey, let me tell you, the gym did not always used to be a part of my self-care. That is something that I started doing post-breakup, and I can't tell you how it's changed my life. Exercise is important.
It is. That's why in the midst of my troubles, I was going to do kickboxing. And it was so empowering for me because he was the one I was kicking. I mean, of course, at the gym. And I was really good with my high kicks. And I have no upper body strength. Okay. I can slap, I cannot punch. But when you have all that anger in you, you just take it out on the big old boxing bag that they have there. But now I can kick like a horse, so try me.
I used to run on the treadmill when I first joined the gym after, my ex left, and this is kinda funny. In front of the treadmill that I run on is a painting, and it's a beautiful painting, and I would lose myself in this painting while I was running. I was running fast and hard, and in the painting, it's a beautiful scene. It almost looks like it was painted in Italy, and it's the ocean, and it's these beautiful buildings and all these really pretty flowers, and I would lose myself in that painting as I was running, and I imagine, while I had my ear pods in, listening to whatever music that would get me hyped up, that I was taking my ex's face and drowning him in that body of water. And that, I can't tell you, got me through.
Damn.
Every time I walk into the gym now and I see that painting, I think, my God, I bet the person who painted that painting never intended that to be the motivation.
It's so amazing what we go through in the midst of our troubles during those times. Yeah. So, today's topic, we're going to talk about dating afterwards.
Ew. You know that SNL skit? Ew.
I'm showing my age. Y'all say SNL, we say Saturday Night Live. I know it's the same thing, but I like to just say it.
It's the Jimmy Fallon skit where you say something and he goes, ew. I say, dating afterwards, ew.
Oh man. So dating afterwards, when I started it after I left, I felt like, I moved out, I was living at my own place, and I felt like everyone was gay. I started really looking at everybody, how tight you're wearing your jeans, how much of your boxers are you showing, why are you showing your boxers, who are you trying to get attention from? So to me, everyone was gay, but I had to, of course, with therapy, I had to get out of that mindset and realize that, there are men out there that actually want to love on a woman and just simply be with her. They love the essence of us. Okay. So when I started, I was telling one of my friends, I was like, yeah, I got a date with this one guy, because I started doing the little dating app. And she told me, she says, whatever you do, don't tell them about your ex. And I'm like, girl, because I'm so open. I'm like, it's not going to be a problem. Guys, it's not going to be an issue. I go on this one date. I mean, guy was handsome, he was tall, and he's like, a beautiful woman like you, why are you single? I'm like, my ex came out, he was gay. Yeah, so that was a short date. He gave me the longest hug, and I just knew I was gonna see him again. But I really thought I was gonna get a call back. It was like going for a job interview. I did not get a call back again.
Well,
And
I
I
think
was
a
like,
lot of
wow.
don't you think a lot of them are worried about what we got exposed to? I think it's taboo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't think about it then at the time. I was trying to be honest and I went on another date. So I was talking to another guy and he was really sweet and he wanted to take me out. I mean, we were ready to go and he asked the same question. And I said it because I didn't think the first guy I was like, nah, it wouldn't happen again. And it did. He this time I got stood up. And so I told my friend, she was like, "I told you, you gotta stop. I'm telling you." Especially African American men, all right, or black men. You because in the group, I asked this question, and some of the women, the Caucasian women were like, I share it and it's no problem. They don't mind. Like I tell them, and that's not an issue. But black guys, some of the black guys, they were like, "Yeah, like, I didn't get a call back or whatever." They just backed away, and even if I, like, slightly said something because they just kept wondering, "Why are you single? You're down to earth, you're cute, you're smart. Why? Like, what happened?" And then their mind goes there, and they're like, "Mm-mm. Yeah, that's not gonna happen." So, we're clean from everything, so, but it is, wondering if you're gonna expose them to anything, and that sucks
Right.
because when it comes to, our anatomy, we're the ones that receive. Imma leave that one right there.
Remember, I said in one of the previous episodes, I wasn't familiar with STDs, STIs, any of the I's, and having to go to my primary doctor and sit there and say, "Hi, I've been married for 10 years and I need to get all of the tests, all of them, including the HIV one." I couldn't even say the words without tears just rolling down my eyes because, again, good little Christian girl who'd been in a monogamous first relationship for 18 years, second relationship, what I thought was monogamous for 10 years. This isn't a conversation that I ever thought I'd have to have. And it was awful. But to find out that my gay ex had exposed me to these diseases by having unprotected sex with multiple men and then having unprotected sex with me, here I was having to have these tests. So I completely get it that these new men that are coming into our lives are concerned. I personally waited for a very long time before I started dating again because of that. Because I had to test clean 3 and 4 times and make sure that I was okay. Thankfully, knock on wood, MDF, whatever's in front of me, I was. But that's something that people don't think about, and so it changes the dating game for sure.
So, like, with your story, I think I've said it before when we were doing fertility, and then I went in, and they're like, "Oh, are you here for your fertility treatment?" And I just broke down, and I'm like, "No, I'm here because, X, Y, and Z happened." And I just started crying and they're like, "Oh my god, it's okay, it's okay." And having to go through that was just like, who's gonna want me after that was my thought, like, my life is over. Not in a sense of I don't have anything, but in that moment, you're thinking, "Who's gonna want me?" Like, I'm such a hopeless romantic. This is it, This is it, I was just so angry and frustrated, and then I even went to a phase of, I just want a baby. Just give me a baby." But one of the things I wanted to ask, is there in other races, do y'all share? We want this to reach out to so many different people. Do y'all share? And within this podcast, I want people from the community to come on and speak. No bullying, no bashing. But I honestly, that's why it's called My Side of the Closet, because it's not just based off of the LGBTQ community, but it's based off of any issues that you might just want to talk about because some people just want to get it out. So I wanted to know, how do other races do it? Like, so I'm African. That's taboo. You don't speak about it. You mind your business. You're not even supposed to be gay. What is gay? You go to church, you believe in God, but there's no gay. And it's almost shaming. People are ashamed. It's like that also in Indian culture. So I would love to hear from different races about this, whether you're gay, bi, straight, trans. So this is a variety. This is us. Let me tell you something about my side of the closet. Let me see. I got to cross my legs for this one. This is where we sit down at the coffee table. Like they had red table talk. We sit down at the coffee table. You wherever you're at. You're at your desk, at work. You're at the gym. Look around and see people. Just this is a conversation we all want to know because it's starting to be an epidemic.
Absolutely.
It is starting to be an
What is
epidemic.
it, 1 in 5 men is secretly gay?
I'm like,
So you look around the gym when you're there, you look at 5 men next to you. I'm assuming one of you is gay, and finally I can pick them out.
tell us the secret because apparently,
The shorter shorts.
who wears short shorts?
I can't speak for race 'cause, I'm about as white as they come, but I can speak for being raised in a really religious family, extreme religious family, and I feel like that made my story taboo. My mom and dad are still extremely religious, Christian, but my story was not one that they felt comfortable sharing with their friends among their church members because it is taboo to be anything but heterosexual. And so that made it difficult for me because, again, this is my mother and father. And how do I tell them? You said you waited 2 years to tell your mother and father, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I did. No, I was embarrassed because I thought I had the I don't wanna say better of the picking, but I definitely admired the man I was with. He was very smart, can speak very well, and very handsome, so just feeling like I failed. And I can't say with Africans, like, it was probably more hush hush in the community because I didn't really hear about it, but I knew it was there. And, being well respected, people just kinda see you and they felt sorry for you, and I didn't want anybody feeling sorry for me. I'm not a victim. People say, "Oh, don't be a victim." I'm not a victim. I was angry at myself, I was mad, but I was embarrassed because I was cocky. Because I thought, "Shit, I got it together," and I didn't. And now you're being in a relationship or in a partnership or in a marriage, these men are supposed to be your covering. You feel protected. And when all of this is going down the drain, you're left. I don't like to use the word exposed because I wasn't hiding anything, but you're left just standing there and you're not covered anymore. That's just it. You're alone. You're alone. I even talked about bringing in my 40th birthday at the club. I watched people I knew had elegant 40th birthday parties, and here I am popping bottles with the bottle girls, and to me, that's not classy. That's not what I wanted. That's when you're, like, drunk and it's girls' night and you just, "Hey, let's do that," but coming into dating, right? Coming into dating, you sometimes get a, excuse my French, a whole phase, right? "Oh, we being real. We grown, we grown." Now, everybody goes through different stages because it's not like we left and then we just jumped right into it, right? You go into you're depressed, you're sad, you don't want nobody to bother you. You go to counseling, you go to therapy, you go to prayer. You're trying to live right, you're trying to do right, and then you had that little devil on your shoulder, and he's like, "Psst, hey, psst, come here." He's noticing you, right? Yeah, you the baddest one out there, uh-huh. Look how he's paying you attention. That other man wasn't paying you attention. Girl, you better get out there and you're lusting and you're getting all the attention. You're digging yourself into a hole because after you're done getting, and Imma say attention from you're done getting your a little attention. They buying you drinks or they, "Hey, boo," or "Good morning, sweetheart," or "Good morning, queen," or, UID. When you get all those messages,
I
you're
love
like,
it.
you're feeling yourself because why? He wasn't feeling you, he was feeling some other man. So now you're like, "Yes, I'm getting this attention." And after you're done with your little whole phase and you come back and guess what? You're alone. Your problems are right there. You're like, "Damn." And that's some of the hardest part is because you're alone again. You're alone. You once had a whole family. Even if you have your kids, you still deserve to go out and have a good time. But to what extent you come back and you're by yourself. You're lonely. You're crying in your room. Your kids are asleep, or your grown kids are gone off to college, or they've moved out already, and you're alone. It's just you, Ben, Jerry,
Well,
Bud,
for me, it
and
was
Light.
Jameson and
Jameson was there? Okay,
Johnny
Jameson
Walker.
came. Good old Johnny. Johnny and them, it's just y'all. Jim Beam,
Yeah,
Johnny and Jim,
they're all in my living room
they're all she said they stay with me.
every night.
It's just y'all together in harmony. Cause after a while you start singing and you're crying and you pray. I prayed a lot. I told y'all, I would cry and pray and drink. They say eat, pray, love. I was cry, drink, pray.
Did
So,
you ever
yeah,
get on the dating apps, though? I don't know if you did. I know
I
I did, but did you?
I did. I got on the date. I was on Facebook dating,
Oh,
and
that's right, that's right, that's right.
and
That's right.
I seen some people in the community that had no business being on Facebook dating, talking about, "Hey," or liking my stuff. I'm like, "Now I know your cousin. Get
Right,
off the page and go see
right.
about your wife. Just because I am a free agent does not mean I am a free agent."
It's a free agent, not a freak agent.
Right, exactly.
I live in such a small town. I mean, there are 14,000 people in my town, okay? And I've lived here my whole life, and if I didn't work with you or marry into your family once or twice, I just know you. There's only 2 main streets here. So you get on these dating apps, right? And they are location based. And you're swiping through and it is either straight trash or I got these little 20-year-olds in my DMs going, "Hey, mama." And I'm like, "Yeah, I could be your mama. You're the same age as my daughter. No thanks." That's the quality that at least me personally, that I received from the dating apps. I did not have a good experience. I met a handful of guys and really it was always for entertainment. It was always to keep me busy. It was something to do, but I never had one successful date meeting someone that way, and so I'm sure there are plenty of success stories, but for me, it was a definite ew.
Now, I did get on the dating apps, I did meet, and that's where some of them ghosted me because they were asking. But then I also had other suitors that probably couldn't wait for my situation to end, and they were like, "Girl, I told you, we knew, but since you free." Now, they weren't afraid because they knew, like, I was being honest, like, I'm good, and I had to go get checked and everything, but they pursued me, and they were wonderful, but it was also one of those situations where I didn't choose them originally, so it was like, "We're just gonna go out to eat and have a good time, watch a couple of movies and whatnot," but
Emphasis on the whatnot.
uh-huh. But so they were already familiar with me, so it wasn't that bad. But, one thing I wanna ask, did did you get any, like, it says prioritize your self-care. I did not. I wasn't going out and getting my nails done. I'm not a big nail person, I'm more of my feet. I didn't really do too much of that. It's like I wasn't thinking about that because it's like, who am I getting dressed up for?
Right.
I don't
No, for
know,
me, it was getting back into physical shape because,
'cause you
I mentioned
lost a lot of weight.
oh, yeah. I lost a lot of weight. A lot of that was just due from stress, but that wasn't natural weight that I was holding on to either. That was cortisol and stress from being with a gay narcissist, and the minute that he left, the weight really just naturally fell off, but then the minute I was in therapy and my therapist said, "It's really important you get outside and walk. It's really important you do something for yourself every day." And the first thing I did was go out and join the gym, and I thought, well, if this mofo can do it, he used to spend hours and hours and hours at the gym. Do I think he was working out during all those hours? Probably not. He was probably in the locker room. But I decided that I was going to join the gym myself and get myself back into shape. And I did. And now it's kind of an addiction for me because it makes me feel good.
I need it to be an addiction for me. I do need it to be an addiction for me. I mean, I take my dog walking, but I don't go to the gym like I used to. With working long hours and doing the podcast, I don't give myself time and then I'm up all night and then I don't get enough sleep and then I'm groggy in the morning and then I'm drinking coffee. So I really do need to do that. But we talk about when I was moving into my apartment, I needed an apartment that is gonna have a lot of windows, and my old apartment looked like a tree house. I had windows everywhere, and I needed that because I didn't wanna fall into deep depression. And now that we're in our new house, it's so bright and sunny, and I love it. The light bill a little high for my liking, but all of these are so important. So, before you do date, prioritize your self-care and of course, give yourself time. I know I gave myself some time. Blonde Mafia gave herself some time because healing takes time. Be patient with yourself and allow yourself the space to grieve the loss of a relationship that you thought you were going to build a new chapter in your life. And, now it's over. So, and when you're prioritizing yourself, focus on activities that bring you joy and help you heal. I know in the group I talked about going on walks. Did anybody go on a walk today? Because my knees, I used to drop it like it's hot and pick it up like it's cold now. So I always tell people, I tell my coworker, she's way younger than me, and she'll say something, and I'll be like, "Sweetie, I'm from the 99 and 2000. And if anybody knows what the 99 and 2000 is, that is juvenile. Back that thing up. You know, when that song comes on for anybody, when the beat drops, so do these knees. Baby, I used to be out there dropping it, and now I'm paying for it. I have Icy Hot, Ben Gay, and Blue Star.
Well, I don't think you should put that on your dating app, just saying.
Right.
On your dating profile. Maybe
I'm
leave that
telling
off.
you. But yeah, so focus on the activities that bring you joy and help you heal. This could include hobbies, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing new interests. I started taking myself out to eat, and even if I just sit down with my phone at the bar and have a drink or some nachos, or depending on where I'm at, and I'll just put a show on, and I'll just have my phone, my I'm watching a show and I'm laughing, I'm sitting there and I'm having a good time or read some, messages, check emails and just have a good time just sitting there. Sometimes I'll people watch.
Get out of the house. That was
Yeah.
when I first discovered everything, and I'm not a depressed person, but my God, I didn't even wanna leave the house. And so if you're in the beginning stages of it and you're just still in that deep depression where you're like, "I don't know what to do. I don't know how this is gonna play out. I don't know where to go," just get outside. I remember just walking outside on my front lawn, looking at the mountains and just grounding myself, walking barefoot on the grass, whatever I had to do.
Now look, when you walk outside of your house, if you look to the right, she got the mountains. And if you look to your left, she has the beach. You know what I see when I walk outside? The neighbor's trash can. They don't usually mow their grass, but I love y'all though. They really nice. I got them cupcakes one year when we first moved over here. I don't get to see nothing now. We got freeways. Just I got to drive an hour to get to a beach. But
But the importance is get out, get outside, get a fresh scene. Don't
absolutely.
sit in it and get somewhere where your mind stays active. If it's reading, if it's meeting new people, which sounds scary, but how else are you gonna meet new people?
Right. Meeting new people is an interview. I hear, so tell me about yourself. But getting outside and just, if you're spiritual, we're Christians, we're not perfect. We know that no one's perfect. But even I would go outside and be like, God, I don't know how I'm going to make it. God, I don't know what I'm going to do. Really, I don't know. And sometimes a bird will just fly by or just a beautiful breeze will just hit. And sometimes I just knew, okay, that's the spirit speaking. I know I'm covered, I'm good. So, whatever your religion is, whatever you practice, just take that time to woo-sa and just see about yourself. And it's normal to experience the different ranges of emotions, including hurt, confusion, and anger and sadness. But allow yourself time to process these things just as long as you get out of the house.
And you know what? Maybe you don't wanna date, and that's okay too. Because I gotta tell you, part of my journey, as I said in a previous episode, was learning to live alone. I'd never lived alone in my entire life, and now that I've lived alone for 3 years, I'm finding that I really don't even care about dating. I just don't. I love my environment. I love my new hobbies. I love that I have time to myself, time to discover what I like and what I wanna do.
That's so true. Currently, I'm not dating. I actually don't wanna date right now. I did date someone not too long ago, and yeah, I got ghosted. I guess I wasn't ready, but I'm actually glad it happened because had it not happened, we wouldn't be here. I wasn't even that focused, and that's the thing, I don't wanna lose focus, even if I start dating again. I'm grateful that God allowed that to happen because there's a purpose. I know we have a purpose. Y'all, it's a white woman and an African woman. Nobody but God brought us together. I promise you. This is definitely nobody but God. I don't if you whether you believe or you don't. I never you go through your issues and your situations. I never would imagine 5 years ago looking at my life now. I'm grateful. I'm at peace. I'm happy. I have boundaries, and that's what's important. And I want to be able to allow us to reach out to other women or other people that need this. Even if you are, let's turn the tables a little bit because it's not all just about us women going through it, okay? Because I bet you there's men that have their women are lesbians. They left them for another woman, and maybe the man feels like, was I not good enough? Was I not enough? Well, you don't have the same thing a woman has, but you are enough. We would like to hear your story just as well. And for someone that is gay or bi, I know for me, I definitely want to know what, if you care to share and you could share anonymously, do you date? And how is the dating world with other gay people or other bi? Do gays go with bis? Do trans go? I don't know how the system works, but I definitely would love to hear about it. Your views are very much welcome as long as there's no bashing. Don't be coming on here. This is for everybody. Don't come on here trying to go off and whatnot. Ain't got time for that, okay? But we just want to share that with y'all this day, and we hope everybody has a good rest of your day. You know what I say? No matter the mess, no matter the fight, your side of the closet deserves the light. So speak your truth. Don't run or hide. We'll be right here on the other side. Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.